Well, Chloe came in here this morning and she said, kind of almost sounded like my wife. Don't you guys worry about it. I got this.
I sure do. I've got the national anthem today. Yesterday, you may have been there. The Blue Angels were in town. The air show happened at the Sanford Airport.
Always so impressive.
And y'all, I am blown away. Seriously, now I want to go watch. They've got a documentary out. Like, I am so invested in these men and women. There was a woman that was flying yesterday. There were 7 angels up in the sky, and this is their 78th year. The Blue Angels being around, and just the precision, the skill that these men and women have is something that I can't even describe unless you get the chance to see them in person.
It's really incredible. My hometown actually had an air base, so I remember I was 9 years old. This is 30 years ago, and I saw them, of course, different flyers that they have out there, right? Flying the planes. Yeah. But it's just incredible that they're able to do what they do, and also that they are from our country makes us so proud.
Yeah, you want to get some shout outs to them? From what I'm to understand too, the Blue Angels, it's unlike any other organization where they are like a family unit. So yes, they are the best of the best of the pilots.
They are.
But they also act like a family.
Yes, and I learned yesterday that the flight lead commander, there's one gentleman that leads the entire way, because think about how close, that precision. Their wings are almost touching. That if that flight commander were to go straight down, those men and women go right down with him. Like, that just tells you the tight-knit family that they are. And so I'm just going to say their names really quick. Alexander, Jack, Wes, Amanda, Griffin, and Thomas. They were up in the skies yesterday, those Blue Angels. Just amazing.
Man, love that. So from us to you, so appropriate, the national anthem out.
K92-3.
Doing the right thing. We love this part of the morning show. And if you do know someone who's doing the right thing, you saw it this weekend, please let us know on our K92-3 Facebook page, Instagram, because we would love to highlight them.
This is going to give you the tingles. Just going to say, the manager of a Taco Bell near Philly did CPR on an 11-week-old baby to save the child's life. The little boy's mom had just turned into the drive-thru of the Taco Bell over the weekend. She realized that her baby was turning blue, wasn't breathing. And the manager, Becky Arbaugh, immediately dropped everything, threw her headset down, jumped through the window, did chest compressions, and brought the baby back. Says she was able to stay calm because her own daughter had a similar experience as a baby. Here's the mother, Natasha Long, and Taco Bell manager, Becky Arbaugh, talking about this scary situation.
The scariest moment of my entire life. I pulled him out and he turned completely blue and was lifeless. And at that point, I just completely blacked out.
I threw my headset, I ran outside, so I took the baby and I started to do chest compressions on the baby, and then he finally started to breathe. When my kids were little, my daughter had similar incidents, so I knew what she was feeling. So I knew if I just kept her calm and I stayed calm, then there was no thought in my mind that the baby wasn't going to breathe again.
Oh my God. Just crazy.
You want to talk about the right place at the right time.
Yeah, well, and I told Slater and Chloe in here, I said, listen, I'm sorry that sometimes we have to go through some crap, right? Sometimes you go through something when you're a kid. Sometimes you go through something as an adult that you're like, why did I have to go through that? That really sucked. And then here she is, a mom who went through this years ago, able to administer the calm and the peaceful character that somebody going through something like that needs. I think that's great. Perfect place, perfect time.
Do yourself a favor, okay? If you go to a fast food restaurant, and I will be honest, in the past, sometimes I've judged people that are in certain roles. Do not judge anyone for any job that they have today.
You never know.
Because they might be the ones to save your child's life.
And you know what this was a good reminder of? I experienced it a couple weeks ago firsthand. My little cousin, she was choking, and my older cousin was able to, she's 1 year old, able to jump into action and, lodge it out of her. And I saw that firsthand. And for me, it was a reminder. I'm like, Chloe, what are you going to do if something like this were to happen and you were left with this baby? So if you do not know CPR, you need to be refreshed on CPR. It was a reminder for me that I do. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there.
I hear people say, well, God protected them with an angel that day. Yo, we are the angels. We just have to step up at the right occasion, man. How great.
Yeah, and there's an angel that's still with the baby. The update as of right now, as of this morning, The last update, the baby's still in the hospital being evaluated, better understanding what actually happened.
Oh.
So, we're hoping. Listen, now the medical professionals are there to actually help the baby.
And do what they do.
Without Becky, this manager of the Taco Bell, we wouldn't even got to that point.
Absolutely.
All right, so thank you so much. Becky Arbaugh, this manager of Taco Bell, stepping up, saving this baby, and this Mother's Day completely changed that today, doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. Brought to you by
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors. For more, RBAFLA.com.
Doing the right thing.
on K92.3.
This is K92.3, Orlando's number one for new country, where it is Obi, Chloe, Slater. Here we are on your 22nd of April.
That's right.
Just another reminder, too, that we are back at it with giving you the cash. So I just like to start that because paying your bills is super important to us. The opportunity to have $1,000 for doing nothing but just texting in the keyword, that is really cool. So we'd love to do that. And the first time that you're going to get that keyword is going to be at 8 o'clock.
That's
Good
right.
morning, y'all.
Good morning.
All right.
Chloe, we're so jealous of you.
Oh.
Over the weekend, we saw Kenny Chesney was at Raymond James Stadium.
Yep,
Everybody tailgating.
Kenny was at Raymond James Stadium. I shared some videos on our K92.3 Instagram. And then on Sunday, I had the chance to take my dad and mom out to the air show. And my mom came with me to Kenny on Saturday. Kenny was like the soundtrack to my childhood. I mean, that's who I grew up listening to. That was what Mama always had playing in the car on her rides to school. She had every
That's cool.
Kenny Chesney CD, and it's been on her bucket list to get to the show. And so for me, on just this entire weekend, and I share all this because I hope it inspires you that if you have your parents around, or if you are somebody that's, it doesn't really matter what age, like in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, enjoy and soak up the time that you have with them, because I'm starting to see my parents, as they get older. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing to get the chance to take mom to Kenny, to take dad out to the air show. And for me, this entire weekend, like, it wasn't even just about being there. Like, great, that was wonderful. Kenny rocked it. Like, he was amazing. And the air show was incredible. But for me, I just sat back and watched my parents. Like, that's what it was. To see the joy and the excitement in their eyes, and to be in this spot where I can finally, almost like just be able to do these things for them. They provided me with so many things in this life, and I would not be where I am today without them, and all the sacrifices they have made, like, just to get to do these little things. It's incredible. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, but you remember the first thing that you did for your parents? Here, think about that. My first, I went and took my father. I'll always remember this, okay? I said, hey, Dad, this is a big surprise. And I picked him up, and he's like, where are we going? I go, you're going to like this. And we pulled into the Denny's parking lot, and we both got Grand Slams. And that's what I did. Why not say
Slams
anything?
in the burgers?
Huh? Denny's.
Denny's.
Yeah,
Grand Slams, like the eggs, the bacon.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
the breakfast. It was a $4 deal, and that's what I did. So same thing. Kenny Chesney, air show, Denny's. What was the first thing you did, Obi?
I mean, the first thing I ever did with my parents, I think, was be able to pay my own bills.
There you go.
Like, once I moved out of the house, I think that was a big thing. I remember my dad giving me the speech because I was only 18, and that was moving out here to Orlando. And my dad gave me the big speech. He said, Obi, if I have to buy you groceries, if I have to pay for your electricity to stay on, if I have to send you a pizza because you cannot afford living out there, then you're bringing your butt back to Tampa.
You're coming
and
home.
you're going to college, and you're going to do the college thing. And luckily for me, radio worked out where I was able to bring them over here several times, do theme park stuff. I think I took my dad to go see Hamilton, and so just some cool experiences. But I do believe that for a parent too, Chloe, I think that they're pretty proud of you. I think a lot of us, and for me, what I love about Chloe's, she's going through that moment right now where a lot of parents would tell me there's going to be a time where your kids are going to become your age and you guys are actually going to be able to talk on the same playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you'll actually appreciate your parents a lot more because you'll now know the heaviness, the weight of what it was to raise you.
Well, and I think that's the stage that I'm in right now is you just said it, Obi. Like, I've always been grateful for my mom and dad, and I've talked about this before, but it's a different level. Like, once you are completely on your own, you're figuring out life, life, you're doing it. Like, I'm like, Mom, how did you have time to work full time and also run my brother and I around to various different sports and have a home cooked meal every single night on the table? You know, like all those things. I'm just trying to figure it out now by myself, let alone factor in kids and all these things one day. And so again, this whole story is if you have your parents and they are around, like pick up the phone, call them, take them to lunch, take them to dinner, take them to that show that they've been wanting to go do or see.
Yeah, and the smart thing is, too, it's only 2.5 weeks away till Mother's Day.
There you
so
go.
now you're off the hook, Chloe. You already did it. Father's Day, just take a picture of you hanging with them and put it in a card, and that way you don't have to get them anything. You already did.
I feel incredibly guilty right now, and it's okay. It's okay because I need to spend time with my parents. Like now that we've got 4 kids, you know, and we've got our own little bubble, our own little life, our own synchronicity going on with our crew. My parents, sometimes I leave them out because we're just so busy. And so Chloe, I appreciate this conversation. Puts me in perspective as far as like, all right, well, this week let me try to do something with Mom and Dad. And
you know what, though, Obie? I think they also get it because they were parents once, too. You know, so they understand the craziness. But up next, what Hardy finds luxurious, other men may find uncomfortable.
I do.
What that is in the All Access in 6 minutes.
K92.3.
From backstage to the front page, it's All Access.
We'll get to the most impractical thing that Hardy owns. But first, one of our favorite guys, Eustace's own Michael Ray, he's got a brand new song out. And it's just about the different life lessons that we learn and we go through throughout just our life. And it's so good. It's called Hold.
Don't hold back on all your dreams. Make some memories for the good Lord calls you home. There's a lot of things in life worth letting go, but the ones that mean the most, you gotta hold.
okay.
No, and Michael said that this one is so special to him, and it's about keeping what really matters close to you. And I think we can all agree with that.
I think he just performed this in Ocoee over the past weekend when we did the Ocoee Music Fest. And, I mean, the crowd just loves Michael Ray. Of course, this is hometown for him, so I hope the song explodes.
Well, I know in the last week, I think he did. He hung out with his folks the entire week because he had that in Ocoee.
Yes.
And then I saw he was at Busch Gardens over the weekend as well, doing their thing. So,
No.
like that, he is in his at-home era, right?
Yes.
Actually reminding everybody to, just like Chloe did a couple minutes ago, you know, hey, appreciate the folks you have and the family that you can hold.
Hold on to him, that's for sure. And Luke Bryan, he's been a judge on American Idol since 2018, and there are just rumors swirling around that if he could be leaving after the season. I know we talked about maybe Jelly Roll coming in, and we know that Katy Perry is leaving once the season is over, but Luke shared that Katie's decision, he was asked, would that affect you? Because if Katie leaves, does that mean you want to leave too, Luke? And he said, no, it doesn't make any sort of decision. Really what happens is it's right about now, right? As we're in the thick of American Idol, where they kind of come to him and they have a conversation. Do you want to return? Do you want to come back? Obviously, and they negotiate contracts. And I thought that Luke was on, you know, like a 4 or 5 year contract. No, it's year to year. So
Smart. I think, well, that's the only way you make more money, right? Like, if you do have a contract, then every year you actually get to go, you know what? Ratings are pretty good. I want more money. You know, that's what you hope, and not the other way around.
Well, I was going to say, if you're American Idol, it's hard to sign somebody like a Luke Bryan to years of contracts.
Right?
Right? Like, yeah.
I also can't believe Luke's been on American Idol since 2018. I mean, let that sink in. It's been years that he's been a judge on there.
Good run.
Yes, absolutely. And then lastly, Hardy sharing the most impractical thing that he owns.
A bidet. Changed my life. It's just badass, dude. I just never would have thought I would be that guy. And Mitchell Tenpenny, of all people, was the one that was like, you need to get a bidet. My buses even have bidets now, man.
So
bidet.
So the bidet is the toilet that essentially cleans it between your cheeks.
Yeah, it just squirts up water and you can get real nice and clean. What's that? Obie, I keep looking at you because you look like you're uncomfortable.
Well, because I like the idea of total cleanness, right? I love the idea. I don't like the idea of something going. Pss.
It's a super soaker. it's a double barrel super soaker
Where I'm used to not being touched.
Totally. And the worst thing is, if it doesn't go in the right place, then you got to wiggle around and actually readjust yourself. And it's like you're asking for punishment over and over again.
That's funny. I mean, you heard Hardy. He likes it so much. He not only has it in the house, he's got it on the bus as well. So.
Yeah, some people love it. It's a hate or love thing.
There you go. So you can see all these stories up online at K923Orlando.com. We have $1,000 minute, 10 trivia questions, 60 seconds on the clock. If you want to play, you can sign up right now on the K923 app. We're calling you next.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater's $1,000 minute.
K92.3.
right, so we're on with Elizabeth representing Winter Springs. We were just talking to her off the air, talking about how your husband is a commercial fisherman. Where?
In Alaska, Dutch Harbor, in the Aleutian Islands.
That is so cool.
That's like the stuff out of TV when I watch like Deadliest Catch.
Yes, sir.
Wow, how many fingers does he have left?
All of them.
All of them.
Hallelujah.
Elizabeth, how often do you get to go out and visit him?
I've never been to Alaska. We're originally from Maine, and that's where his company is originally from. But I've
Okay.
been to Alaska.
Wow.
Well, that $1,000, if you do get this right today, all these questions, I mean, you could book a flight out to Alaska.
I hate to fly, but I mean, we could dream.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, well, let's get you that money. So here's the way it works. We'll throw 60 seconds up on the clock, which I've got ready. Chloe's got those 10 questions for you, and we'd love to pay you.
Elizabeth, any of these questions, if you want to pass and come back to it at the end because you don't know the answer, that is okay. Just say pass, but whatever you lock in first, that is the answer we'll have to take, okay?
Okay.
The name of the game is no wrong answers. If you don't guarantee to know it, just say pass. Go to the next thing, okay?
All right. Obi, you recording? Are you ready?
Yep, we're ready.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go, Elizabeth, with question number 1. Who is UCF's mascot?
The Knight.
How many bases are on a baseball field?
4 if you count home plate.
How many bones are in the human body?
206.
The show Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was on what channel back in the 2000s?
Oh my God, Nickelodeon.
What is the name of trees that always have leaves during winter?
Pass.
Pink Lady is a type of what fruit?
Pass.
Name a mammal that can't jump.
Oh my God, pass.
Where do polar bears live?
Antarctica.
What is the name of the holes on the moon's surface?
Craters.
How many seasons are there in a year?
4.
What is the name of trees that always have leaves during winter?
Conifers.
Pink Lady is a type of what fruit?
And that's your time.
Oh, you did make it back to the ones you passed.
So let's tell you, you got 6 correct, 2 wrong, and you passed on a couple. So it was Disney Channel, not Nickelodeon, the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was on.
I can do it.
Yeah, that's
All
a
right.
good one.
The name of the trees that always have leaves during winter, evergreen. You said conifer.
Oh.
I don't know if they do either. That's what
I
we're
wouldn't
looking
have even known conifer.
Yeah.
Like you said that, and I was
Listen,
like,
I'm a
Wow.
Maine girl, so I just went with like pine tree. Like I just spit it out.
yeah.
Pink ladies are apples, and you could have said elephant, sloth, hippo, rhino. They
Are
all
you
cannot
serious?
jump.
I was gonna say elephant.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
totally good. Elizabeth, no matter what, you got a pair of tickets, 3-day passes to Country Thunder.
Yeah.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, you get
We're
those.
going.
You're going to have to get your man off that boat, and the both of you enjoy. Can't wait to meet you up in October.
Oh my God, I love it. You guys rock.
And Elizabeth, we haven't announced it yet. John Party, Bailey Zimmerman, Mitchell Tenpenny. There are so many of our country artists that are going to be a part of that lineup. But Sunday night, huge. Who is going to be there?
I went last year. I'm like, that's what I spend all my extra money on is concert tickets. That's why I tried winning this.
Oh, yeah. Now you're going to buy merch. I have a feeling it's in your future.
The $1,000 minute.
Let's see how you do. Join up on the K82-3 app to play.
K92-3. Time to hit the panic button with Obi, Chloe, and Slater.
Talking to Sheila over in Longwood. Sheila, you're panicking about your son. What age did you say he was?
He's 16.
Are we talking about like drugs, sex? Like what are we talking about?
No, he's actually a really good kid, and I'm just panicking because he and his friends, you know, as we all are, environmentalists, but he wants to specifically chain himself to a tree that they're going to cut down not far from where we live.
Why?
Well, it's for Earth Day. And,
Sure, to celebrate today.
Yeah, and I'm like, I will plant a tree anywhere you want. Just do not chain yourself to any tree. Like this.
But is there a specific reason it's that tree?
Well, it's because, you know, it's like protesting, like, don't cut down trees, which in theory I agree with. You know, oxygen. We need oxygen. But not my 16-year-old son. Like, he's a good student. Like,
Hey, did you say he's doing this with a bunch of people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's him and his friends from the environmental club.
Yeah,
Sure.
see, that's hard when you've got the peer pressure of we're all doing this. We're all going streaking.
There's other ways that you could show your love for this earth. Recycling, cleaning up the beach.
And that's the thing. I've been like on board, but I am not on board with this.
Have you told them
No
that
way.
you're not on board with this?
Oh my God. I've been screaming about this for over a week now. And now I'm like, it's panic time. This is Monday.
I want to know which
Monday.
neighborhood he's going to be in, so this way I can watch.
It's also very dangerous, depending on how high he's going up. I mean, I don't know.
High.
You could
you go at the base.
He might change your toes to the top of the tree.
All the way at the. Oh. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can get you some advice because as a mom, I can imagine you're probably wigged out by the peer pressure, and he may actually do this.
Mom, why don't you just invite everybody over? Okay, keep them in the house, lock the door, and put on the Fern Gully. And that movie tells
Slater.
everything you need to.
I'm going to drive them all to somewhere and we'll all plant a tree instead. I don't know. I'm just so upset about this.
Sure. No, appreciate you. All right, let's get you some advice.
Thanks, guys.
Join the conversation.
844-254-9232. 844-254-9232.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Hey, Jacob. So, what do you think about what you just heard right there from that mom?
I mean, I think if that woman wants to keep her relationship with her son, she needs to let him do it.
She has to? Oh, man.
Oh, okay. This should be
she
interesting.
needs to be a mom.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Give us 6 minutes, Jacob. I want to hear why she needs to do this, okay?
Yeah.
K92.3. The Panic Button.
Join the conversation.
With Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
We've been on the line with Sheila this morning, and today's Earth Day, and her 16-year-old son wants to tie himself to a tree with a few of his buddies and protest. But of course, as a mom, she's very worried, does not want him doing this. And Jacob, what were you saying?
This is obviously a really important thing to him. It's probably what she taught him. Rather than negating him, she should support him. I mean, I know everybody gets all like, oh, my God, you're breaking the law, blah, blah, blah. You know what's going to happen? He's going to chain himself to this tree. Maybe he'll chicken out before he even gets there. Somebody's going to show up, security. Maybe they call the cops.
Right.
They're going to come with some bolt cutters and say, okay, kids, you made your point, go home.
But okay, so say he does climb the tree to the very tippy top of the tree, slips, falls, dies. Anything could happen. This could be the worst thing. And then, guess what? She's no longer a mom.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. Nobody wants a dead kid on their hands. And how many 16-year-olds have you heard of falling out of a tree and dying?
You know what, though? You never ever know. Accidents happen.
Sure. Well, then she shouldn't let her kid out of the house.
Because, yes, he may get a slap on the wrist. But, I mean, in the future, he's going to know that his mom has his back. Even if it's something crazy.
And
all right, brother.
if he wants to pursue this kind of thing, it's going to look great on a college application. Here's a kid that's passionate.
Wow.
Takes action.
Yeah, okay. All interesting points. All right, Jacob. Thanks for chiming in, brother.
Yeah.
Join the conversation.
844-254-9232.
844-254-9232.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Hey, happy Earth Day, y'all. It's Obie, Chloe, Slater, K92.3, where today, this is what this panic button's all about, is Earth Day with this mom.
Yeah, Mom Sheila, she's got a 16-year-old son who is, you know what? I'm all for the fact that he's being honest. And he's telling the mom, hey, Mom, when she said, what are you doing today? He said, I'm going to go chain myself with my buddies to a tree that's about to get cut down because it's Earth Day and this matters to me. She's worried he's going to either get locked up or worse because of whatever happens. He's 16, so he's only, when do you start applying for college? Like a year, 17?
I mean, yeah.
Who knows what is going to happen to his future if this goes wrong today?
Well, and I think that's a big part of it, right? Like, as a parent, I'd be like, absolutely not. If I told my parents that that's what I was going to do today, there would be no chance that I would get out that front door because you worry about his future. He's 16 years old. He's got a whole life and career ahead of him, and you don't want something like this to affect that.
I am going to say back in the days, though, back in the 1940s and 50s, they used to call somebody like that somebody who's got moxie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It means you get some chutzpah behind you.
All right, who's this?
It's Kev. How you doing, guys?
Hey, what up, Kevin?
Hey.
Hey, brother, we're looking for some advice to give our mom here with the son who wants to chain himself to a tree.
Oh, for the love of God. All right, pack the kids up in a car. Take them to a logging plant or where they make, cut down logs and stuff, and let them work in a lumber yard.
Let him work in a lumber yard? Wait a minute. That's where they shave the trees that he's trying to save.
To save, Kev.
Correct. And then he's going to figure out where paper comes from, where product comes from.
Oh, my God. That's like somebody that's afraid of dead people, and you're like, why don't you dig graves? Just go for it.
He needs a good trip to the
Oh,
morgue.
Kev.
Because I'll tell you what, if I was an arborist and I've seen this kid strapped to a tree, it's coming down with him on.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah,
No way. Chances
sorry,
are,
guys, send you to the ground, little guy.
chances are this kid's going to get a slap on the wrist. I say let him do it so this way he gets the protesting, bug out of his system.
And then what's next, though, Obi? What's he going to protest about?
Well, no, then you sit down and you talk to me. You say, well, now, did you see where that got you?
But
nowhere.
couldn't he and mom get sued by whoever's trying to build this, right? Because they're knocking down trees to build something. So if that's stopping work, he's going to have to pay everybody that's supposed to work that day.
Right. Let's just put him to work making products with the trees that he wants to save. I think that'll teach him a lot.
Great advice.
All right, Kev.
Thanks, Kev.
Love
Have a
you,
great
man.
day.
Love you guys.
All right, now we've got Bobby on over from Winter Springs. Good morning.
Yeah, so you just can't go chaining yourself to a tree. That's private property.
Exactly.
That's
He could
what
end up
Slater
in
just
big
said.
trouble.
That's like telling somebody that they can't remodel their bathroom or redo their driveway.
Hey, so wait a minute. Well, what's the worst that could happen to this kid? Because I just said he's probably going to get a slap on the wrist. He probably won't face any jail or juvenile
He
time.
may go into prison. You have no idea.
Yeah. He might be impeding a construction project. If you're a landscaper or a tree company, you go there to cut the tree down in the morning. You got a bunch of kids chained to a tree. You're gonna be aggravated.
Wow.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You've been sent there with a job to do.
Well,
yeah.
if there's anything
Absolutely.
good for the mom, it's the fact that since she's part of the panic button today, if this does happen, maybe there's somebody that loves trees just like her son that will bail him out if he does or if he has to go to jail or if there's a bill, maybe he'll get paid.
And in his eyes, he's thinking this is all innocent, but you never ever know what can end up happening. There could be some sort of big accident that happens out there that falls right back on those kids.
Well, he's not going to stop the tree from getting cut down. That's a guarantee.
Right.
So, it's just going to create a scene. It's going to put a company behind schedule. It's going to be bad news for the kid.
Man, I appreciate you so much for chiming in, brother.
You got it, guys.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I would want to support my kid, even though I think it's a wild-ass idea. I would want to support him just so this way he knows he's got the support. Plus, for something like this, again, I think he's probably only going to get in a little bit of trouble for a life-learned lesson.
Right. I feel just like this kid. I mean, I recycle. I'm like, you guys don't recycle?
The 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle.
K92-3.
Two people, one date, 0 texts returned.
Second date update.
Brought to you by attorney Dan Newlin. In a wreck, need a check, Google Dan Newlin.
Talking to Tammy over in a Pop Cup, you went out. Did I hear correctly about karaoke?
Yeah. We were just going to a bar, but then when we got there, it was karaoke night. So we were like,
I love a good karaoke night. That is so fun.
Okay, pause, because I only like a karaoke night if you know you're going to one.
Really?
I don't know.
You don't like spontaneously walking in. You're like, oh, it's karaoke night. Like, this is so fun.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pause there, Tammy, but go ahead and tell us about your night.
No, that's okay. Yeah, at first I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is not what I expected. But then I was like, you know what, it's fine. So we each just got up there and sang a song.
You did?
And it was, yeah, we did. He was terrible.
You didn't sing together, right?
No, we didn't sing together.
Did you say he was terrible or it was?
Oh, him. He's a terrible singer, but that's okay.
But that's
he was
karaoke
fun.
night.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody who's like, I'm terrible at this, but that's okay. Let's just have fun. Like, I like that attitude. And I don't know. I haven't heard from him, so I'm not sure what went wrong.
And you like him that much that you're going to put him out there like this, like on the radio and stuff?
Well, when you ask like that, I'm having second thoughts.
Yeah, you got a lot of different people from different cities all listening.
When he went up there to do karaoke, did you pressure him to do it? Or
no.
He felt comfortable with all of it. You didn't laugh at him when he was really trying really hard and he maybe you got his feelings hurt?
I mean, I think I'm like a pretty supportive audience member.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like I wasn't mean to him. I wasn't like, you're the best singer in
Tammy.
the world because you're not a liar.
Remind
She's
us
like,
of his
"You
name
suck."
again.
Steven.
Okay, we're going to try to call Steven, Tammy. There's no promises we'll get a hold of him, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Alex, please.
Yeah, this is Alex. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, buddy? So, okay, there's 3 of us on the line. So right off the bat, I want to tell you that it's Obi, Chloe, and Slater.
Good morning.
I don't know if you know
No
K92.3.
way. Yeah, I do. What's up?
Okay, so if you know the radio station, there's something that we do on the radio station called the Second Date Update. Alex, you went on a date with a girl named Tammy, and so our job at the radio station, if you know, it's just to get you guys together again.
Okay. I've heard of this segment. I've heard it before. So what am I in for?
Well, it might have sounded like you already were in for it if you went on a date with Tammy and now you're not calling her back, and we're just trying to figure out why that might be.
Yeah, we heard you guys did karaoke.
You even
guys
got us there,
sang.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time, and it was a ton of fun. And actually, I really dug her. She was great, and we went to this bar, and it wound up being karaoke night.
Okay.
And we kind of,
She shared all that with us. Obviously, something was up,
Okay.
Alex.
Yeah. So I did my song, she did her song, and I thought it was going great. And then this guy gets on stage. He starts his song, which is Seal's Kiss from a Rose. I don't know if you guys...
Well, yeah.
Love
that
that
was
song.
from the Batman for what was it? Batman Forever?
Okay, you too. If you let them keep going, they'll sing all day. Go ahead, Alex.
No, great song.
So he's getting through the whole beginning of the song, you know, there is nobody like a Tammy. And then he gets to the big baby part, and he points right at Tammy, and then he just takes the rest of the song right to her. And, like, everyone in the bar loves it. He might as well be proposing to her.
What?
Singing the rest of the song right to her.
He was just performing, though. I don't know if it was flirty, right? I mean, he obviously saw you sitting there with her.
No, it was crazy. Like, at no point did she go, like, put a hand on my hand or anything to, like, go, oh, we're on a date. She just played right into it the whole time. And
Oh,
at a
so she
certain point, I
didn't.
was
So
like,
she
I'm
didn't
gonna
claim
get up
you.
and go.
So she didn't claim you as hers.
You know, it's a first date. You can make little signals, I think, that, you know, I felt so embarrassed because I was like a true third wheel.
And that song is not a short song. That is that is a long enough song, and there's enough, you know, during a karaoke it says like 16 bars of just instrumental. That's really awkward unless you're cuddling up next to somebody else.
I'm sorry, Alex, but think about Tammy, too. I mean, it's an awkward situation. He's singing, everyone's eyes are on him. What is she going to do? Like, push him away and react that way? No, just go along with it.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Because I feel like we've talked to you a good amount of time. Can we bring Tammy into this conversation, too, so now all of us can talk about it? Tammy, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, Alex, the reason why we had Tammy on the line is because we did want to get you guys together on another date, if that's possible. Didn't mean to scare you.
I'm really sorry. I was really trying to be a supportive audience member, and like, I don't know. I did school plays when I was in 6th grade. To me, I was just like, all right, we're pretending.
Did he give you his number, this random guy or whatever, or like try to actually kiss you?
No. Okay, and here's the thing. I know you said I didn't claim you, but to me, the fact that when the song was over, I was conscious that the guy was flirting. I was like making sure my body language was like closed off to him, that I was not looking at him and being like, come on over, you did a great job. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
especially because you're on the date with Alex.
Right. But I was also trying to be like a good audience member when the song was going on.
Yeah, you were just playing the part. Okay, so what about this, Alex? Now that you know all this, like, can we just get you guys on a second date and this time no karaoke?
Obviously, Tammy likes you. That's why she went through the effort of calling us to try to get in touch with you.
Right.
Put you guys together.
Yeah, I mean that does mean a lot because I don't know, maybe I wasn't picking up on those signals after the song ended. I kind of blacked out after that.
Okay, so since though it was, Alex, a little bit of a miscommunication, she didn't like intentionally mean to do it. What do you think about a second date?
I would love to try. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like where this is headed.
I'll put my big boy pants on and see if I can muster up the courage.
That's right.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, Tammy, glad we got this to work out.
Yeah, me too.
Second date update.
Did you miss it? Catch the latest drama on the K82-3 app.
That's Old Dominion, Megan Maroney, K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country. All right, the next opportunity for you to get paid is coming up here at 10 o'clock where we'll give you another keyword, and that's how we pay your bills with $1,000 5 times a day.
You know, I know you well enough now, Slater, and I've known you for quite some time where I shouldn't be shaking my head every time I hear that you're up to something, but I do. I mean, you never seem to not amaze me.
Well, thank you. That was the nicest way.
It like a really positive way.
So I've been stressing the last couple months because coming up on May 4th, the three of us will be escorts at Runway to Hope, which is such an incredible honor. And this will be the very first year that I will be one of these escorts. And Obi, he pulled me aside. What was that now? Like a month and a half ago, and go,
yeah.
So what are you wearing to this thing, buddy? Because usually you have a graphic tee, shorts, and flip flops. And a backwards hat. And this is a really prestigious honor to be there for these kids as they really shine that day at Runway to Hope. And I said, well, what are you wearing? And he said, every other year, right? You wore, tuxedos?
Yep.
So how am I going to get the best bang for the buck? And I looked at renting a tuxedo, and right now the going price is $200 plus for one day to have a tuxedo because I don't own one.
Dude, I remember my prom tuxedo. My prom tuxedo was maybe like $125, and that was because I got a bunch of extra stuff. But for $99, you could rent a tuxedo. That probably is not the same anymore today.
It is not. I called around to 10 plus places, and they're all $200 plus.
Wow.
So I said, well, maybe I'll just buy a suit because it'll be about the same. And I couldn't find anything for even under $300. That was a shirt, a tie, everything else, and shoes. You ladies have it so easy. A dress, you could get a dress for like $80, right?
Less than that.
Less than $80. So I went on Amazon and I found out I can have a 3-piece suit with a vest, shirt, tie, also the jacket and pants for $60. And this thing looks great. $60 for a High Hawk men's 3-piece suit that looks great. And it's also stretch fabric.
Of course it's going to look great. It's a photo on Amazon. I have no doubt about it.
So it has stretch fabric. So that way if I put on a little or take off a little, I'll be in the clear.
And what's your height?
This thing will fit. I'm 6'4".
Okay. Are you concerned about it being short on you or not fitting you
like
right?
high waters? Aren't those in nowadays?
Heck
Are
no.
they right?
Hey, so the only problem that I have with buying anything off of Amazon like that I don't know the brand, like the name brand, because you go on Amazon and there's a bunch of like weird names. Like,
High Hawk. High Hawk is good, isn't that?
Is it? I don't know. I've never heard of High Hawk.
Giorgio Armani or one of those?
Bro.
But I mean, I love Amazon. I shop Amazon probably every day. There's some sort of package that's arriving to my house. But for something like a suit, I think it's really difficult to purchase it online because when you get in, you got to try it on, tailor it, see how it looks in your waist,
feel like?
your legs.
Does the material feel cheap?
All
does
of
it feel like a polyester?
Well, I bought 2 of them.
Okay.
Well, for $60, sure.
So I bought 2 different suits. They're very colorful. They're because they had every single shade in the rainbow they had, and I got one that matches my fiance's. So that way we will look good together.
When does it come in?
It should be here tomorrow, at latest on Tuesday.
I want a fashion show.
Yeah, do you mind going live, like on Facebook, when you come in and do it, like we've done, with the Santa's outfit?
We'll have to pause it if I'm wearing 2 of them. I'm not going to layer up.
No,
I'm going to have to change halfway through.
And and then we collectively can vote. And I also want to feel the material too, because I think that's
huge.
So my daughter loves Shein. Buys all these things from Shein.
Right.
But then when we get them, they're about as thin as a shopping bag.
And I always shop at Temu, which is the exact same thing. I looked and they didn't have any suits that would fit me.
No?
They were all for like 5'5" and under. They were all smaller suits that they had.
And what are you going to do if the suit does not fit you? Because if I'm being 100% honest, again, suits are very like tailored, catered to your specific body. It might not fit.
Again, is stretch material.
Oh, my Lord.
This thing's made with elastic bands.
All right, okay. Well, later on this week, let's see if we can have Slater actually do a fashion, just like a little fashion walk.
Yeah, no,
in the studio. There's
I'm
not really like a
excited about
runway.
that. Yeah, it's going to be sweet.
All right, now in a few minutes, taking some heroes out on a plane in Sanford. And you know what? We would love for you to be a part of it. Tell you how in 6. Jordan Davis, that's on K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country, where it's Obie, Chloe, Slater. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
All right, don't forget about your cash. Coming up at 10 o'clock, you got another $1,000 coming your way as we try to pay your bills. All right, so you just heard Slater talking about the suit from Amazon. Okay, cannot wait to see that come in because we'll have him do a little fashion run here in the studio. And then I did want to talk about how this weekend went, because this is going to be a big invite to all y'all who are listening right now to be a hero, okay? There's something called the Honor Flight. You've heard Chloe talk about it. You've heard myself talk about it. We've talked about it on the show, us going on this flight that honors the veterans by taking them to the Washington, D.C. memorials for their respective wars, right? So you've got the Korean War, Vietnam, all the different, and not only that, but all the different branches, right? Air Force, Marines. So there's a different way to celebrate, and we take the veterans on a flight, and it's a sponsored flight, which means that somebody had to pay for these veterans to go. And then, they get afforded this really great experience. So, Chloe, why don't you let everybody in, because last year was your first time being a part of this, and let everybody in on what that did for you and your grandfather.
Before I say that, I have to say, too, so many of our veterans are in their 70s, 80s, some of them even 90 years old, and I was so surprised that they've never been to D.C. Like, some of them have never even traveled up there. Ever. To get to experience all the monuments and memorials. And so I had the opportunity to take my grandfather. He's in his mid-80s. It was a blessing, and it was something I will talk about for the rest of my life. I will cherish. He has COPD, and so for my grandfather, it is very, very difficult for him to get around. For us just to even get him to dinner can be really hard at times. And Honor Flight embraced him. They loved him. They wrapped their arms around him, and they got him on this flight. And he has never talked so much in his life. Like, he's a very quiet guy, and he didn't share a whole bunch with my brother and I just about his time in the military. I mean, there were things we'd ask, but I learned so much about him just within those couple hours that we were together than I have ever in my 27 years. And so it was a blessing, and we still talk about it. And I think our relationship now, because of Honor Flight, is even closer than it was before.
Without a doubt. And that's the same relationship that I have with one of my veterans that I've taken in the past, is that in the beginning, it just started off, hey, how are you? Now, the dude seriously mentors me. We probably talk every couple of months, and he drops a load of wisdom on me, still sharp as a whip. Okay, so let's get back to how you can be the hero, right? Because these people, obviously, they served. They did their time, and that's why we're honoring them. Here's how you can be the hero. The fact that we're flying in and out of Sanford Airport this weekend, so Saturday, you'll be able to be a part of the comeback. Right, so the return, especially those who served in Vietnam War, they didn't really get a welcome back. So this is your opportunity. You can come out with the kids. You can come out with flags. There's a lady who comes out dressed as the Statue of Liberty, and she calls herself Lady Liberty, and she welcomes all the veterans on their way back.
Does she just do that for this, or that's an everyday thing?
No, that's what that's. You know what? I don't really know her that well.
She's like, this is great.
She's so sweet.
Just keep wearing it.
But all the people who welcome us on the comeback, Saturday, it's going to be a long day, man. We're going to fly at 5 a.m., return with all these veterans at somewhere around like 10 o'clock at night, and that's when y'all will be able to be part of the reception. So I know I'm talking about this on a Monday. We'll talk about this as the week progresses, but I know that some of y'all are planners, and you like to plan your week ahead. So Saturday, let's just plan to welcome these veterans back, and it's going to be at night at Sanford International Airport.
And what I love, too, the three of us have family members that actually did serve. My grandfather, he was a Marine, and then he doubled down and he joined the Navy. So he was in both of them and fought to make this country what's so great. My grandfather's not here anymore. if you have a grandparent or even a parent that was in a war and is not here anymore, you can honor the people that are still here. And like you just heard, so many of them have never even seen any of these memorials, and stories will come back to them.
Yeah.
So you might actually hear people talking about things that they have never even thought about in 60 years.
Yeah, we'll go to the museum, and that's where you see all the veterans open up, because they look at the old pictures and then boom, they start. I mean, they remember everything. So yes, to Slater's point, if you have a family member and they've never opened up, like Chloe's dad or Chloe's grandfather, about the past serving, this is a way to really open them up. So again,
and that
honor
welcome
flight.
home is really, really special, y'all. Like, if your patriotism, it means the world to them, and for you to be out there and to welcome them home, bring the kiddos, have the kids make signs, bring the flags, bring it all, because it really is the most amazing experience.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
K92 3.
Orlando's #1 for new country.